Alright then. Hello everyone. It's me, Connor, and my co-host Alex Ho,
Hello.
and our guest for the day, Kyle Salmon.
I was going to say, that sounded very exciting, didn't it? You had so much enthusiasm in
Yeah.
that intro.
Well, we're excited.
We're enthusiastic. As you can see, we've been having some technical difficulties. We've changed the setup just a little bit, one time only. The 2 cameras will be coming back next time. And we also are missing a guest. But
Well,
we're
here.
working with it.
Well, when we first started this podcast, Alfie, rest in peace, Alfie used to say it's gonna be about in student life and all that, like how being a student. Never come up once.
Yeah.
Never come once.
No.
We've never really brought it up that we are, but students.
Yeah, you brought it up now, ain't you?
Yeah, we don't really talk about it. But so we did have another guest, but then like the day before, they decided his class was moved to literally when we're recording this, and then the other camera we lost out on the other camera on account of a file not wanting to fucking fit.
Yeah,
it's someone's chair, mate. I can hear that. Is that my chair?
That's your chair.
That's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
chair.
You're moving back and forth. You can hear
I'll
it.
try and fucking lock it.
I can believe this guy.
Is it? I might get the nice
Can you
chair
hear
from
that?
over there.
Very
I'll get the
professional.
nice chair.
It's unbelievable.
He's now just going to change chairs.
I'm gonna get that chair. That chair's way nicer. Just keep going. You haven't got.
No, yeah, well, basically we've just been having a tough time of it, but yeah, I mean, also I would like to say, just pre-warning, I'm going to spend a lot of time looking down at my phone. It's not because I'm not paying any attention, it's because I'm supposed to be hosting this, and since we've only had one camera, I'm not sitting in front of the computer to research or look at my notes.
Because you wouldn't be in the.
So all my notes are on this now, which they usually are anyway, so I am usually looking at my phone at them, but it's going to be a bit more than usual.
Just makes you look more professional, doesn't it? Computer screen.
Yeah, it
It
does.
does.
Don't it?
Yeah, I notice it when we're in class. Kyle's you're always tapping away at your computer, and it makes it look like you're doing work. But I'm on my phone.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm never doing work.
I'm on my phone.
It's always in Julian's
He's
class
on
as well.
Minesweeper.
I'm never doing work.
I'm usually doing work when I'm on my phone. I'm usually arranging stuff.
I'm always doing Mira's live production stuff in live project, which isn't her module. But it's just that Julian's module's got that boring now because he's cut this bit out.
No,
the bit where you slate it.
Julian's module's got that boring now. He's talked about the same thing for 4 weeks running, so I've just decided not to listen to him and just do my own stuff. Yeah.
Fair
and
enough.
then when it comes along, I'll get his stuff up and go. Yeah, Julian's going all great, mate.
Fuck off, all this is. Well, fuck that. The
On to what we're
film
meant to be doing.
we're today talking about All Quiet on the Western Front. This was recommended to us by our guest, Kyle Salmon, as per usual. I had already watched the film.
I watched it
Your first?
yesterday.
Alex watched it yesterday. You obviously already watched the film.
Yeah.
This what landed you on All Quiet on the Western Front?
What brought me to the movie?
Yeah.
It's the 20. Is it what year did this one come out? Because there's multiple.
2022. This one came
2022.
out.
Yeah, right. There's 3 adaptions of it. Sorry.
The base just came along that me and my friend are going through a massive list of films. We've both chose 25 films, I think. Stuff we've watched, stuff we haven't watched. And as I was scrolling through Netflix, it just triggered in my brain. Everyone's I remember at the time everyone's going, "Oh, Quiet on the Western Front, incredible." It was everywhere, and I'm thinking, I never watched this movie, so I've got to watch this movie.
Damn. So it was either that or White Chicks.
Yeah, which I'd just like to announce to everyone, White Chicks 2 has been greenlit after 20 years. So
we are never going to watch it on this podcast.
I'm never going
No,
to watch it.
you are.
No,
You are, because
no.
it is a movie of its time.
This is your episode, Kyle?
This is your episode.
And you didn't allow me to do White Chicks?
Yeah, because we have self-respect.
I'm not putting it on my YouTube channel. I'm not putting episodes 6, 17, whatever this is, White Chicks.
I actually like the film All Quiet on the Western Front. It's a great film, right? And I'm not doing White Chicks. It's 10 times it's just that's all I actually have to say about
This
it.
one's
I'm gonna be
it's a bit cinematically better, innit?
So,
a bit more than that.
Kyle, like everyone we've ever had on the podcast, you are in fact a uni student.
Yeah.
What's that like?
What's it like being a uni
How
student?
is it being a uni student?
It's interesting. I think that's a good word to use for it. It's a lot more demanding than you think it is being a uni student. I think in some ways you come to uni you learn a lot at uni. There's obviously pros and like drawbacks to being a uni student. But I think it is just a lot more time consuming and demanding than you think. Especially this course. It's a lot of filming. Like obviously, like, you know, you're going to be filming stuff and whatever, but it's the essays that go along with it. Like, my argument to that is, I don't see what I'm writing these essays for, because obviously you don't see like Steven Spielberg or what's his name, James Cameron
Writing an essay
like,
about
Edward
Ant-Man.
Berger.
Yeah, you don't write an
Well,
essay
they're
about
famous and they're rich.
Exactly.
If you get famous and rich, they won't make you write essays about like a critical reflection.
Yeah, but it's like, I know what went wrong in my essays, so why am I telling anyone else what went wrong?
Well,
do you think the person who's marking it can see what's wrong and decide for you?
I suppose the issue is
Yeah.
to do it till you don't have anything to see. That is wrong.
But then the argument to that is these big Hollywood movies are sometimes absolute utter shit.
Well,
Yeah.
everything.
And that's bad.
But they don't write
That's a
critical
bad
reflection
thing.
about it. They just
Yeah.
sit and
I
go to the
thought-
box
this is
office.
why we're
That's
doing the
plummeted.
critical
I bet they
reflection.
do a lot worse than that, mate. If I'm the one funding that film and it does shit, I'll tell you right now, I'll be writing a very, very strongly worded critical reflection. Look, I think the moral of the story is, you're a prick. But
And that's podcast over. Thanks
Yeah,
for
and
tuning
That's
in.
it. You
Really
leave,
like that.
just leave.
but All Quiet on the Western Front, directed by Edward Berger.
A German man, I can only presume.
Yeah,
Is that from the enunciation?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say German.
Well, the books. It's based on a book from 1929.
Yeah.
So I thought before I read like the bio of it, I thought it was about World War II. So then when I saw 1929 book, I was like, wait a minute, this ain't adding up. And I was like, oh, all right.
No,
you know.
it is in fact World
It's
War
the one
One.
without the Nazis.
Yeah, obviously this. Just to preface, we are looking at the newest one released on Netflix from 2022. I don't know how many versions there's been. I know there was.
three
There's like one in the
versions.
30s, one in the 70s.
I was about to say there was one that came out that I've got here, which is 1930 by Lewis Milestone. That's also got like 10 out of 10 reviews. But
that might have won Best Picture.
it might have, yeah. In terms of the reviews for this one, though, it got a 7.8 out of IMDb, a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 4.5 on Amazon, and also got a 4 on Letterboxd. So, pretty good all round. That's pretty good. That's fairly respectable. So it did pretty good. And I can see why watching the film, because it. No, yeah, it's set in World War One on the Western Front of the war, so France, basically. France and Germany, Belgium, that kind of thing. And it's set,
1917.
yeah, 3 years after the war started, I believe.
14, 15, 16. Yeah. Well, it started in 14, 15, 16. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and basically, they were just about to go into... Basically, we're fucking them up at this point.
We're icing it.
Yeah, we're fucking them up.
You specifically, do you think you had
Me
a
specifically,
big
yeah.
hand in...
Well, I did more than Mr. Croods over here, so...
Mr. Croods?
Yeah,
Who's Mr. Croods?
You,
What does
you
that
me?
mean?
You look like
What?
a member of the Croods.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I always say you look like a member of the Croods.
Oh my fucking god.
Since when have you
Oh
said I
my
look like a
fucking
member of the
God.
Croods? I've never heard you say that.
Last lesson I was in with you.
I was not paying attention, clearly.
Is the
Yeah.
mic in the way of your face? Can they
Clearly.
see your face? Can you
No,
pop your head?
they can fully see my face.
Okay, so they can make the assessment.
Yeah.
But Connor, when you're editing this, you should put whichever Crude you think he looks the most like and like
Yeah,
insert the
you
image.
need
I'm
to
gonna
make
put
like a clip of this.
It's going to be the whole family.
The whole family.
Yeah.
You're like the whole family combined.
Yeah, it's
I wouldn't
gonna
take
be the
that
whole
car.
family.
I
would
mean,
take it.
like, I'd rather the Flintstones than the Croods.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
that's
take
too bad, innit?
I'll take Flintstones as a compliment,
bad.
but like,
No, you're the Croods and Kurt's the Flintstones. I call you Croods. and
Kurt's
Kurt-
not even here to defend himself.
Yeah, but I openly say this. I call you Croods and I call Kurt Flintstone.
Why?
Kurt was in the Spider-Man episodes, if anyone
Oh,
recalls
this
those.
is- We need to get back to the movie.
Well,
Yeah, we do.
we should have Jamie on, I think.
Absolutely
No,
do,
I
man.
think we should have Jamie on. We need to have Jamie on an
Vic
episode.
Star 123.
Zip
Yeah.
it, buddy. Yeah, Vic Ram is not entering this podcast.
Shout out to Josh.
Look, okay.
Biggest fan. Big up Josh.
So, all right, 1970, 3 years after the war, we're fucking them up. At this point, they're starting. The Germans are starting to think, mate, right, maybe it's a good idea to like not do this anymore. But they're running out of boys and they need some reserves, so they get some reserves in. That's where our main character comes in, Paul. And we follow him and his. Is it two of the mates? There's three of them altogether.
I think there's three of them.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know if all of his mates. I didn't know if all of his mates actually conscript.
Did
all of them?
All of his mates conscripted.
God, they didn't fare very well, did they?
Oh no, they did not.
Fucking hell.
No. It was pretty bad. Either way, it starts any classic war film where it like kind of shows how awesome of a time they're having. At the beginning, it's always like,
let's go join the war.
Fuck yeah!
And Paul, he's underage, isn't he? He has to get someone to sign his documents
he gets
for
a fake
him.
thing, which happened quite a lot. A lot of very, very young men went out to war and got absolutely mugged up.
You got to say, he was quite excited to join the war. Like,
well, everyone was there, the propaganda machine going on. Let's go, take them out.
Yeah. Honestly, it was quite impressive. If I'm going to be honest,
be like a good time, you know. We could, three of us, and we need a fourth person.
We
could all go. We could go.
I think in like putting it into modern terms, I feel like the excitement he had is literally just signed on an all exclusive to Ibiza or something like.
Yeah.
He was nuts. He was living for
so
it.
Happy for it.
Well, think about it. At the time, they didn't have much like media to show how bad the wars were. So if I'm sitting there being advertised, you can go with three of your best friends to a holiday destination,
shoot some Frenchmen,
kill a bunch of French people in the glory of God in the name of the Kaiser, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to have a great time. You're going to look at all these huge ass guns you're going to have to shoot. You're going to be in that look at that tank over there. How fucking cool is that? I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome, man. And then it's not awesome.
No, it wasn't awesome.
No, it was far from awesome, yeah.
Actually, my favourite part is they got given uniforms of already dead soldiers.
No, they did. Yeah.
He's like, it's got someone's name on it, and the conscriptor's like,
that must be someone else.
It's too big for him.
Yeah,
that was probably it. Yeah, it happens all the time.
No,
and then you see all the fucking name tags on the floor.
The scene before that, you see like the people cleaning the clothes, and they're all just hung up drying.
Yeah.
I think it started quite weird, to be fair. Like, it's called All Quiet on the Western Front, obviously, but it literally started like the opening scenes to it after you got past all the production companies is literally like quiet.
The first scene is like
just silent.
Isn't it like a mountain? Like the first scene, it's
yeah.
bright out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you're right.
Bit of an odd way to start. Like it matches, but it's a bit of an odd way to start.
It's supposed to parallel how it ends, doesn't it? On the 11th hour.
Oh yeah, true.
I like the sound in the movie
because it starts hopeful and good, and then it ends. Well, we'll get on to the end.
Okay?
Yeah, we'll get on to the end.
Do you remember that like sound bit that keeps playing like throughout the film, like the durner.
Yeah.
It's it's freaky, man.
Yeah, it is proper good, isn't it?
Yeah,
some good sound.
Yeah.
Either way, he's alongside his friends. I got the names: Albert Kropp, Franz Muller, very German that guy.
Yeah.
And Ludwig Beam. I have to apologise for my pronunciation. I am just a simple island monkey.
On that note, what language did you guys watch this film in?
German.
Did
you watch it in German? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I can't read, so I actually don't know what happened.
I know some people watched it in English.
But I guess that's fine. But
nah,
the dub
it's
was
not
very good is all.
I sat there and I thought to myself, this is. I think with dubs and subs for stuff, there's no one clear way I do it because like I did watch Squid Game dubbed.
I watch Squid Games in Korean.
I don't know. I heard that people prefer the subtitled version.
Because it's like, what's the point in the actor acting it out and doing it in his own language if we're not going to watch it in its own language?
No. Retrospectively, maybe I should have watched it in Korean. But like, I watched the first season, I didn't even know it was fucking. I just put it on, and then like halfway through the first episode, I'm like, oh, this is probably dubbed, isn't it? And then I watched the whole season, and I wasn't going to switch halfway through. But I think, but generally though, like with that, other than that, I try to watch things like. I guess where's the fucking thing set? You know what I mean? Like, this is a German film about German soldiers. I'm going to watch it in German.
It's actually set in northern France.
Okay, it's set in northern France, but the characters are all German, is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to watch it in French, am I?
I mean, you could.
No. Anyway.
Anyway.
So, he has three friends, but... So, they're immediately... So, it's kind of like... It's quite, like, blunt. It's like, having fun. Now we're not having fun.
Are you doing that on purpose?
No, I leant back and then I realised my chair was squeaking, so I'm trying to like silently move it forward, but it just didn't work.
You cheeky little shit. I was fucking talking then.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I didn't do
So-
anything, but I'm sorry too.
Him and his 3 friends get thrown into the trenches. It's quite blunt, isn't it? It's kind of like happy. Now we're really sad.
Some guys
Yeah,
like you're gonna die.
It happens
Paul.
quite brutal, doesn't it? Like,
Well, it is It is World War One.
No, but like the way they progress from they've just had like the time of their life, like they're hitting up, they're like that they're thinking they're about to go to war, it's gonna be incredible. And then like
Isn't the transition literally the close up of him screaming? Or is it, how does it transition into
I think
them
it transitions because you see him drive down basically onto the war front, like where all the trains are, where they've set up camp. And this guy, like, they're trying to get a doctor because someone's just been injured. And then this guy's basically, like, he's telling the vehicles where to go. And then he's basically like, I need you guys, like, right down here. You need to go down, like, as quick as you possibly can. And, like, they're literally, like, thrown with armour and banged her into war, like, instantly like that.
By the way, he starts with 3 friends. He does have 3 friends, but one that immediately dies and gets replaced by this other guy called, because they make another friend, don't they? Stanislav Kaczynski.
Yeah, I
which
remember him.
is actually a very cool name, actually.
I think he's quite a bit older than the rest of them, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got like a wife and later revealed to be a dead.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big
He's the
kid.
oldest of all of them.
Yeah.
But I actually quite like him. I think he's got a cool name.
If the one who dies immediately, the one with the glasses, or is the one even
Ludwig.
earlier than that? That guy gets fucking smoked.
Artillery.
He gets.
Are you on the guy with
annihilated.
artillery? He gets killed by artillery.
I think so.
He's the first guy to die is Ludwig. So I can't remember whether that's Glasses guy.
No, glasses guy gets fucking. Yeah, they bomb the fucking trench they're in, don't they?
That was him.
They
yeah.
find his glasses.
Yeah,
he
same.
gets smoked.
Yeah,
man.
he gets annihilated. But that's like immediately. So they make. So Stanislav Katz. We're friends. Ludwig out of there. He's gone. Immediately.
Ludwig did not last long, man. He's like, I want to go home to my mom. I don't want to be.
Yeah,
here."
he was quite weak, wasn't he? Like the reality of war hit him quick.
Well, I think it would
yeah.
hit me quite quickly.
Well, yeah, almost immediately actually. That quickly that he was just turned into some pair of glasses.
I'd try and get like an essential job so they let me stay in England. Something I do.
Yeah, what,
in the
like
war.
social worker or like?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they let Charlie Chaplin. They didn't make Charlie Chaplin go to war, actually.
Yeah, but that's because he was cool.
He was kind of like
That's what I'm saying.
a filmmaker of his time. So I mean,
I just have to.
They needed him for propaganda.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if I could like get into the film industry, maybe I can save myself from the World War III.
I mean,
death.
it's not really good. Like if you look at like North Korea BTS are from?
Yeah, no, they're from South Korea.
Are they?
They're not from North Korea, mate.
They're
You
from
wouldn't have BTS in North Korea.
Yeah,
They're
wouldn't
from
last very long,
Korea.
would they?
But like that, they've all been like prescribed to war.
Well, they've
Or
well technically,
yeah.
but it's
because that was
they've
like
got-
a massive thing.
they've just got national service,
Yeah,
don't
it's
they?
natural. They're not actually going into the front lines yet.
But
They're
like-
Because technically the war is still on in
Yeah,
Korea.
well,
They're not.
yeah, sort of. Yeah.
They're not going to fight each other. They're just kind of like
And-
stand at each other, like
Yeah,
kind of angrily.
menacingly,
But
yeah.
like they're like massive stars, like dominated the world. I think you being a filmmaker won't really stop you from being poor.
Well, I'm just saying they literally did it with Chaplin though. Like in our
Yeah, but,
country,
like-
it's a different law for a different country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different laws for different countries, and I don't see how BTS is going to help the morale of the troops. But I feel they'll help the morale more if they're on the front line singing compared to Alex if he's making a film back home.
I mean,
Well, also one of them's got out now. One of them's like he's done his service. He's
Yeah,
he's
he
out.
has.
So as soon
Yeah,
as they all
he's
come
done
back,
his time.
as soon as they all come back, there'll be like a big tour. You know?
Big party.
Do you think there should be a national service car in this country?
that's a very interesting question.
Sunak was trying to bring it back so he could get the old people vote.
No, I don't think they should because I don't think a lot of people would be happy with it, and I don't think a lot of people like these days feel the country's worth fighting for, and I think that comes from a lot of the young generation. The old generation obviously is very much like Britain is Britain. I'll do anything for the country. Where a lot of the younger generation are like, why am I even living here? Like,
They should leave then.
They
like,
should leave then.
Oh,
And then-
Britannia.
and then like obviously like if you're a person who doesn't really believe in fighting for your country and then you've been sent for national service, you're not necessarily fighting for your country, but you know you're being given the reputation of your country and you're not going to own up to it, it's very pointless.
I don't think we should do national service.
I think we should set up like a foreign legion, and then you know how we're having issues with prisons.
Yeah.
I think we should, if we can't fill in the prisons, I think we should send them to like that boot camp, and then if we go to war, we can just send those criminals in with like a bunch of rocket launchers.
Well, because like in like when you had the Celts about, you would want the worst guy ever in your like tribe.
Exactly.
Because he was a maniac and he could kill 5 men with his bare hands.
Do you know how terrified I would be if a paedophile was running at me?
With an axe.
What?
Like, what am I going to do?
Bro. Oh my God, I'd be terrified. So I say, we can't fill the prisons. Okay. Ship some of them to Cyprus. We got a military camp in Cyprus. Send them there.
We'll be ready.
Sweltering heat.
We'll drop them in Russia.
Yeah, and then we'll shoot them into Russia in like big shipping containers. We'll just go over that way.
Yeah, but you got to think, like, if you look back in the olden days, Australia is basically full of British people.
It's literally Pandora. It's literally just a bunch of prison cells over there.
I mean, they built it to be quite a nice country. Like,
it's quite nice now.
We actually pay money to go over to Australia now, and like,
hold on,
even though we used to send people there for free. If I could,
but they got sent for free.
I could commit a crime and get sent there for free. Now I've got to pay.
It was pretty much a desert island back in the olden days.
I suppose.
So it wasn't
now
really
people
nice.
pretend as if like Australians did all that, but
it was us.
The Barrier Reef already existed. You didn't fucking make the Barrier Reef.
I don't agree.
Like, what do you mean you don't?
The Australians, they built it. They built it with their bare hands. They went down there. They built the Great Barrier Reef.
All the nice things that Australians have, they didn't build and are effectively destroying now.
What about the Sydney Opera House?
Who gives a fuck?
It's a beautiful landmark.
Blood, are you actually saying that? The
It's
Sydney
a nice
Opera House
building.
is a really nice building, but like, it's not nice enough for me to be like.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
It's not nice enough for you to pay the money to go and see it.
What do you think's better, that or Big Ben?
Big Ben.
You think Big Ben?
It's British, isn't it?
It's more for but it's more for spectacle. That's like
yeah.
But like, it's more like landmarky. Like, a lot of tourists come to see Big Ben, like the New Year fireworks happen around Big Ben. The New Year fireworks in Australia are flowing off a bridge.
Yeah, the fireworks in Australia are shite.
So like, compare it. You don't see like the 2025 firework display, Sydney Opera House.
Okay, so other than the Sydney Opera House, can you name one other really good landmark that isn't naturally made?
Yeah.
No.
There we go then.
I wasn't.
And most of the natural ones are like Great Barrier Reef, almost dead. A rock in the middle of the desert, just a really big rock.
No, I'm not fighting for Australia.
Stonehenge, innit? Wasn't that naturally made? Or
it was the aliens.
Apparently naturally made.
I felt like we got Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall is much more impressive than Stonehenge, and no one ever talks about it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why no one talks about Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall is cool as fuck.
Maybe because of the horrific historical implications.
Yeah, but isn't that like everything on the entire planet?
Oh yeah, that is totally 100% true. Actually, yeah.
Where are we in the film?
He was a bit of a bastard, is all.
Yeah, but like I was on about earlier, it was just too much sister fucking when it came to the Roman guys.
The Romans were doing too much of that. I think I'm going to put out an official, and we don't like to get political here.
No.
We're going to put an official Film of Fame stat. Is my hands blurred? No, they're fine. I think.
Your hands are fine.
They're fine. We're going to put out an official Film of Fame statement. Do not have sex with your sister.
Yeah, especially you Romans out there. We see you.
You can keep with
I'm going to be surprised if this whole bit of conversation is going to make the cut, you know.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of that statement. I agree with that statement.
Anti-incest is making it into the cut.
Wow.
It's like anti-Nazi.
That's incredible.
If I'm a bad person to think you shouldn't be fucking your sister, Kyle, I guess I'm a bad person.
I think I don't know. I think like there's some things we can agree on are bad, like like incest, the Nazis.
Bestiality,
you know what I mean?
Paedophilia.
Is this like a whole written statement you're going to put out?
This is a whole written statement. Like I know America right now, maybe they're more pro on that kind of the Nazi stuff these days. But like I'm very against it personally.
Yeah, we're not getting political though. We're just being honest.
Like we all saw that.
Well, that's deep, isn't it?
Talking about the Germans, we
are talking about the Germans. I suppose not the Nazis though. So.
Not these ones actually. These guys weren't Nazis.
These guys were alright.
Yeah. Well, they were. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
It was a grey area, weren't it?
Yeah,
I think World War One was more of a grey area. World War Two was inherently, black and white, I feel. But at this point in the film, it's made clear to us that the German State Secretary, Matthias, that's how you say it.
It's like Daniel Brühl's character.
I think so. Hold on.
He's got the notes. He's got the notes.
Yeah, I do have the notes. Hold on. I fucking
I
lost
really-
the notes. No,
so,
I found them.
So they have a bit of a side plot here where it's about the people trying to bring about the armistice, which I
Yes.
don't believe is in the book. I think it was added on to give more context to it and I guess pad out the runtime.
It was Daniel Brühl.
Daniel Brühl wants to call an armistice because he's pretty sure the Germans have lost and he thinks it's a waste of time.
Well, this is actually something that happens, I believe. It's just added to the
Yeah.
film because it is nice. It's good context to what's actually, it makes the what happens at the end more heavy, I think.
Yeah.
Daniel, later on in the film, when he's like, Daniel Brühl's arguing with like some guy, he's like, oh, all our boys, they're gonna go home injured rather than dying on the they're gonna like die of starvation rather than dying on the battlefield with honor. And he's like, my son died in this war, where's his honor? It's like,
Yeah.
fucking stupid, wasted fucking life in it.
So
really.
basically, at this time, the British blockade over the North Sea, over Germany, is getting really, really bad, and the Germans back home are like super, super no food, no nothing, because we're blockading them. So that's why I think he refers to them going home and starving, because they're not getting anything because we're blockading the ocean. So fuck you guys. But no, yeah. At this point, straight after that, one of my favourite scenes, Paul and Kat steal a goose.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's a really...
Well, they shouldn't have. This is entirely.
Yeah.
What are they doing, man?
Because, like, at this point in the movie, the war's... It's, like, their position in the war is they've made ground, basically. Like, they've been forced to make ground effectively because...
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it, by this point, their original bunker's absolutely just been, like,
Decimated,
smashed to pieces.
evacuation.
Oh, yep.
So, like, they've sort of, like, set up a weird temporary... They found, like, a random hut thing, sort of set camp up in there.
Yeah.
And then they went and they stole a goose. And they have, like, two other kind of veteran friends.
They all eat the fucking goose together.
Yeah, apparently his name's Tyden
Tyden.
Stackfleet.
Yeah, it doesn't end. The film does not end too well for him.
I think
No.
it's like going back to the goose scene. I think it's a really interesting conflict of the movie in it, because you got to think this is like a war movie. Like, it's really sort of sad and like, because it's obviously depicting what happened in war, and then it's in moments like that where you kind of see sort of the friendships that were built up in the
Yeah,
war.
humanity. These people are people. They're not.
Yeah.
War's bad. It's another one we're going.
War never changes.
War never changes.
But men do. Through the roads they choose. That was my quote, by the way. This is a quote I'm doing right now.
Okay, do the quote.
No, that was it.
That was it. The
That was
men
basically-
do. So the
No,
roads,
shit, yeah, no.
Quote ended quite quickly.
But men do. Through the roads they choose to walk. I
Connor
made that
Griffiths.
up just then. Just then.
Don't be a
I made
Nazi.
that up. Yeah, don't be a Nazi.
Don't fuck your sister either.
Don't fucking...
No,
No.
that's bad.
This
That's
is turning into a very interesting podcast,
Alright,
It's a
isn't
bad
it?
thing
No,
to
guys,
do, Kyle.
we're moving
you
on.
shouldn't be
We're
doing
moving
that.
I didn't say it was
You
a good
shouldn't be
thing.
doing
I
that.
was just talking about a goose.
No, we're moving on.
We're talking about
A man after my own heart. Cat is illiterate, and he can't write any letters or read any of the letters he's sending to his wife.
Can you not read either?
I can read. I'm reading right now. But Paul has to write the letters for him, which was also like a nice thing. And Franz spends the night with a local French woman. So basically, they all just have a lovely time. Write, read, shag, and eat a goose.
They sort of had like a massive escapism from the war, haven't they?
Yeah, it was pretty
From
good,
like
actually.
the full on
Because
battlefront.
but I think that's more how it was advertised. You go over there, you get to go shag a bunch of French women,
And then you shoot their husband with a machine gun.
shoot their husband with a machine gun,
Steal a goose.
steal a goose, drink champagne, and live in a hut with your mates.
This sounds fucking awesome. If I'm honest, like shit.
Yeah, it's good.
God, I'm kind of on board for this actually.
Anyway, later on on apparently November the 9th, the German delegate obviously then goes on to that like fancy ass train.
Oh, they're having a great time.
That must have been a really long train journey.
Yeah.
I think that did also happen. I think it was the armistice peace talks was on a train in like the middle of nowhere, I think. So yeah, they do that, and then Paul and his chums, all really good people at this point, go on their own mission while they're talking about the armistice, where they have to their mission to go find 60 missing recruits sent to reinforce their unit. They all got killed by gas.
Oh, they find them all, and they're all like purple, and they got on the floor, and they're all dead.
Yeah.
I've got I'm not taking the piss, about 10 fucking notifications since we started this. Who the fuck? What do people want? Your order has been delivered. What do you want?
What order have you got?
I don't even fucking know. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn the internet off because I don't want to be bothered anymore.
I think it's quite bad that you don't actually know what order you've got.
Kyle, it was a sex thing. I can't tell you about. It's a joke. It's a joke. It was not.
Well, you heard it here on Film FM.
So, go on.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
really sidetracked again.
I wanted to turn it off so that I didn't get distracted by it. If that's
That's fine, I suppose. Either way, so they're doing that. They find all their dead dudes in the thing, and the guy who opposes the armistice, Fredericks, is like, okay, fuck this. Let's go counterattack him. Like right now. Right now.
While he's on a big mustache.
Yeah, big mustache.
Looks like Dr. Eggman.
Cool hat. Yeah, very Dr. Eggman. So he's like, fuck these guys. We're going to go kill them real quick just before the armistice takes. And they talk about it, and he's like, we will take this land. This is German land. The German land. We need to take that piece of German land left. It's ours. Will help us in the peace talks and all this stuff. And it's to regain your honor. This will help with, the German honor and steel because we're about to lose. But you went down fine or whatever the fuck. It's a bunch of bollocks.
Do you not have honor, Connor?
What?
Do you not have honor?
I have honor. There's also good honor in losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without dying.
Yeah.
You could lose without dying and still have honor. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example. I'll come back to you on that. Just continue.
I'd just like to say
all these German troops right now.
These German troops.
I've just noted, completely off topic, we're all wearing a shade of green.
That is so.
Just like to put it out there. What wasn't planned, but there you go.
Well, I really like the colour green.
Wardrobe is really given today.
Green is my favourite colour, so. Yeah.
Yep, same. So the delegation at the same time as all that happening reaches the forest of Champagne. It's a French place. It's where stupid English man. I don't know.
They eat snails. So.
I'd probably say Champagne over Campaign.
Champagne.
The forest of Champagne.
No, because isn't Champagne French? And that's why it's called Champagne, because it's from the place of Champagne.
Oh shit, maybe.
It'll make sense.
Yeah, maybe. That's fair. That's fair.
We'll give you that one.
Thanks.
So
definitely true, 100%.
So
accurate.
Paul's battalion reaches the front line where that guy gives that whole thing, whatever. And then the Supreme Allied Commander, Ferdinand Foch. Mm-hmm. Have you guys heard of Foch?
No, I haven't.
No.
He's quite an important guy in the war. He was like, so the Allies were obviously all couldn't speak the same language, and it was all getting confusing. So they got this guy Ferdinand Foch in, and he was as it says there, Supreme Allied Commander. He controlled all of the Allies, British, French, all the ones on that Western Front. So he was quite important.
You know what? No, I'll come back to it. In Avengers Endgame, when Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor fight Thanos, do they lose to him? I think they do, don't they? Do they?
Where the fuck is
I was
going
to say, where did that come from?
I was trying to think of like a solid loss that's still pretty respectable. That's a 3-on-1 though. That's just like they should. No, never mind.
I mean, this wasn't like a 3-on-1 situation. This was like country population on country population on a country population like
level.
It was like 3-4 countries like very not one-sided.
I got one for you. Tyson Fury when he lost against like Usyk in the rematch. I thought that was a pretty respectable loss.
That was what actually you could probably find a lot of combat like boxing matches. There's probably quite a lot. Like
that's what I'm going with. I'm going with that.
The Raging Bull, Paul no, not Paul. Jack D'Amata, I think his name is. Against
I'm not sure what his last name is.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Uh-huh.
I never went down, Ray, or whatever he says.
Yeah,
that's pretty. Yeah,
it's pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe boxing is the way to go then.
Yeah,
because like when Thanos beat up the Hulk, massacre.
Yeah,
destroyed him. So anyway, moving on.
So this is where shit gets fucked up for our group, if we're gonna be honest. So they do this counter-attack. They smash through the French lines. Obviously, after that rousing speech where he's like, they're all there in the courtyard or whatever. They smash through the French lines. There's this cool scene where they're doing hand-to-hand combat. At this point, by the way, our main character looks so dead in the eyes whenever he's doing anything.
He's always like covered in dirt and shit as well.
He looks
fucking awesome. The fight scenes though, like they're so
this
well
is a really
done.
cool scene.
Like him going through the trench and he's like shooting people and shit.
Yeah, this scene was really good up until they think they've won and
the tank come in.
The French counterattack with tanks, and apparently here they're Chamond tanks.
Didn't our side get tanks first in World War One?
Yep.
And it was just like here you are, you're thinking you're doing all right in the war. You've got your horse and your rifle, and then like a metal box of death comes towards you.
We invented the tank, the Mark 1 Land Cruiser, I think it was.
Germans must have been fucking terrified, man.
Yeah, and then by this point, though, at the end of the war, a lot of people had tanks, although I think at this point they were just like stealing ours. Although I imagine the French, this Chamon tank or whatever, was probably their own design.
Fair enough.
I'm sure we shared some stuff with them.
I can just imagine it like fucking how terrifying. I think you feel the terror of the tank in the scene. Like it literally crushes a man.
Yeah, because it is revolutionary.
They do take one out there. They fucking like throw like a bomb inside of it, which is good.
But so this tank comes over, like complete like force of nature shows up. Everything's all getting fucked up. They completely annihilate the German defences. This is where shit gets bad for our gang. Because Franz is separated from the group, and Albert is killed trying to surrender using a flamethrower.
Oh my god, they burn him.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah,
fuck.
That was bad. And he was one of the original
one of
boys.
One of the boys.
Yeah, he got.
They scorched him, man.
Yeah, they scorched his ass.
And he tries to get to the fucking like puddle.
It just doesn't work though.
No.
Yeah,
literally full on burnt alive.
And then, they find Paul's in this like, what's it called? Like a crater. Like it's in no man's land.
There's like a Frenchman there.
Yeah,
there's a Frenchman there.
I think that's quite this scene's quite like an impactful scene, isn't it?
Yeah, because he stabs him, don't he,
to win, and then like he's like sitting there. He wants him to shut up because he's going to alert the French to where they are, and he's like screaming out. Well, like making as much noise as he can, considering he's been stabbed. And then he's just like Paul's just kind of sitting there, like staring at the guy, and he tries to like fucking suffocate him with fucking like dirt to fucking put him out of his misery, or get him to shut up. And he like puts his like helmet up in the air with a stick to see if like to tell whether like which side can see him. Because if it's his side, they'll come over. If it's not, they shoot through it.
And then I think like that scene, especially, I think there's like certain scenes in the movie which sort of like, again, it takes away like. You don't forget they're in a war, but it brings like the heart and the humanity back into the war, because I think in that scene especially is he's gone over stabbed this French guy, like he's trying to, I think at that point he thinks his chances of winning the war are really low, like of him surviving the war are really low, because he's now in this crater struggling to get out the crater. So I think like him stabbing that guy is sort of his own self-victory, like he's going like, that's my bit I've done for the country, like I'm probably going to die in a second. And then obviously like, he stuffed the mud on that guy and everything, and then all of a sudden the guy's dying and he sort of has a change of heart, and then he tries to save the guy that he's just killed. Like he starts putting the bandage around him and looking at his wounds, and then he realised like if he finds his family pictures, and then I think that part really hit home.
Like it humanises the French guy to him.
Yeah.
And he tries to save him then. Like address his wounds, but it doesn't really pan out because he just stabbed him a bunch of times.
He literally, he dies.
But Paul survives, so who gives a fuck? Yeah.
War's bad.
And then while that's happening, Kaiser Wilhelm II abdicates the throne, and the guy trying to do the armistice kind of leans into this. And then Field Marshal Paul von Hindenburg was instructed to accept Allied terms. Obviously, Hindenburg being a big player in the war. Paul returns to his unit. Obviously, they're all celebrating, aren't they? Because it's like the end, which is cool. He finds I
can't fucking say his name. Tajan?
Yeah, that guy.
Tajadan. And he's like, to say that, like, what's his mate? His mate Franz, like, he lost him during the battle. Like, he saw him in the background of the trench, and then, like, he's gone.
And he gives him the scarf, doesn't he?
Gives him the scarf, like, he died off screen. And Tajadan's like, he's all hopeful, though. It's like, you must be strong now. And then Paul's like, yeah, you'll be all right as well. And he's like, and Desjardins, like, he doesn't want to be a cripple. And he's like, I'm not going to let him amputate me. And he's all full of hope still. And then there's, they meet up with, we come back to him later on, and he's just, I'm skipping over a scene here, and he's just completely lost all hope in himself.
Yeah.
Because I assume in between the scenes he got told they were going to have to amputate it, or they did amputate it.
Yeah.
Because he's just gone from, like, so hopeful about, like, his future just to, like, literally kills himself with a fork. So
it's quite brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought
actually,
you didn't want to wait to get a gun or anything. Like,
no, I wouldn't have minded a gun. Yeah, because there's quite a lot going around the gaff since it's like war and shit. So,
they go to. So he goes to get some. So Paul goes to get some food for him.
Yeah,
and they've
Kat,
got. Well, yeah, 'cause he finds Kat there, and it's like it's nice that they've reunited, and he's fine. And there's 150. There's food for 150 men, but there's only 80 left. And the guy serving the food's like, we can't give up all that food to 80 people. And then they're all shouting at him like, the food's for the second company. We're the second company. Give us the fucking
give us the
food,
fucking
man.
food, you little shit face.
Yeah, so they all get some of it. And that's when they go over to Jardin and he stabbed himself in the neck. It's fucking brutal, man. No one's getting through this.
Because he's literally like at the end of the war.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, yeah, the next scene is them signing the armistice to take place on the 11th hour of the 11th hour of the 11th month.
And it is mental that people still tried to fight, even once the armistice has been announced, which comes into the plot. I remember it happening in like horrible histories and how like funnily it was presented, like how much of a joke it was.
And then the contrast.
And the contrast to this is wild. It's oh my god. I really liked horrible histories as a kid.
The next scene, Kat and Paul celebrate by doing the only reasonable thing. They go steal from that farm again.
Oh my fucking god! The scene is so long. You're just sitting there, just waiting for one of them to get shot, and then like Paul's in the fucking place, and they cut back to Kat, and you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hear a gunshot, aren't I?"
Yeah.
Because I think it was the other way around when they did it last time. He grabbed it. Yeah. Or at least one of the other soldiers did. It certainly wasn't Paul, by the way. I think, but this time he's like, you go, Paul. So Paul goes in and he gets some eggs, and this kid spots him, and the farmer comes for them again and shoots at him, as I would if someone was trying to steal my shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, if I'm a farmer, I got to protect my livelihood, man. You know what I mean? Like, they've done it to him twice as well. There's a precedent now. They're going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have shot him, but with the context of us,
seeing it from their perspective, no, you shouldn't rob people's fucking shit, like. Honestly, so he fucking he shoots at him. They escape, and he thinks all's right with the world. And then Kat goes over to go have a piss or whatever. And the scene is so long, I was like, Kat's totally gonna get shot. Because he keeps like looking. I'm like, well, I keep expecting him to like be reacting to something, like looking very intensely in front of him. And then the kid's there of the farmer, and he's got a gun, and you hear a gunshot, and I was like, oh fuck, what's happened there? Yeah. And you start seeing him walk away. I'm like, did he kill the kid somehow? But no, the kid shot him. Although I do wonder what happened to the kid, whether he just went home after he shot him.
Yeah, well, that's my dad done.
Pondered home.
Or whether Cat beat the shit out of him.
I would have. You little shit. Boom.
I think he does call it he could call him a little shit.
Yeah, he's a little shit. He shot me. Yeah, and I would not be happy with that.
And they start trying to carry him out. He's like determined to get him home so he can meet with his wife. Because he's talking before he gets shot. He was talking about like how he was happy to see his wife again and how beautiful she was. And then now he wants to have more kids or whatever after his last kid died for like smallpox, I think it was.
Yeah.
And fucking they try to get him back, and I swear they walk past some German soldiers who don't stop for them because they're all drunk.
Yeah, basically.
Which is fucking.
Yeah,
I would have
it's pretty
said, I would have
bad.
shouted like medic rather than stop, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
probably.
could have given more
That
urgency to it.
scene is. It's quite. It's brutal again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just all brutal.
Oh, they get
Yeah.
him to the fucking medic as well, and then they were like,
Yeah,
shouldn't have bothered.
because
he's
like
dead.
they've done that whole walk home, like he's like no one's stopping this poor guy's probably like no energy because he's just fought war for how long. Literally walks his mate like all the way home, like around, like he's got him around his neck and everything. Like no one's stopping for him. He gets back and like it's the medic when like you think is in the right place now, like this, you think this character is gonna die and like he's gonna be his revival story, he's gonna come back like stronger than ever, and the medic goes
Nah, that guy's cooked, bro.
That guy's literally
He's
dead.
dead.
He's already dead.
shot in the liver, poisoned.
And he's like, Paul can't believe it because like it was only a small bullet, and like I just spoke to him like a
Yeah.
minute ago.
It was like
Yeah.
mate, it was like was it like black blood or something, like it was something to do with the colour of the blood, and that's how the medic knew
I don't
he was
know.
there was no chance.
There's a certain color of blood, and like depending on what color it is, that's how you know it's hit like a really not good artery, basically.
The guy, then like you think we're finally done, but fucking Dr. Eggman wants, he wants one last German victory.
I got confused. I was talking about this earlier, but before the other attack. This is what I was. This is the scene I was on about earlier with them being in the courtyard.
Yeah,
I was
really
accidentally
confused,
talking about that earlier. Yeah, but no, this happens now.
You see how fucking dead in the face Paul is at this point? They're like,
Which parallels so much at the beginning where
he's
it's the
like,
closer.
I was thinking someone's made an edit of those two clips
definitely.
together. I think I just couldn't fucking believe it, man. He's like, we've got to get that victory while he sits in his own fucking office and sends all these people to fight.
It's stupid because they've gone. At this point, they've signed the armistice. Like everyone knows the war is going to end.
There is no point. They want to get that bit of land so that the French can't do anything about it.
He orders the attack at 10:15. So if they take the land within those 15 minutes, there's nothing the French can do to take it back because that will be the armistice done.
Yeah.
So he does it out because he's a contract.
Why didn't it start at 11?
10:40.
10:45 then.
Five.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I just said. He
said
ordered.
10:15.
I did. I meant the other way around. Yeah, 10:45. It's because he had 15 minutes left.
When they go into battle, there's like it's literally 15 minutes left, isn't it? Like, or 10, or by the time they start, or something like.
Yeah.
It's like a little it's like a short kind of young looking ginger guy there as well who kind of feels like I always reminded me of Paul in a sense when I see him. Just like he kind of seems still a bit wide eyed compared to him. Like
you got no idea.
You've got no idea. Like he's just walking. Like Paul's just walking right next to him. He doesn't look that bothered. I mean, he doesn't look happy. But he doesn't look that bothered. Whereas Paul's just fucking traumatized. It's like
It's
that's
quite
just him.
harsh, isn't it? Because the guy stands there and he's like, "We've got to like." He doesn't even tell them that the war's going to end. Pretty much, like the message's got across to him, but like I don't ever think he full on tells them that.
No, he does. He said he wants one last German victory before the
Yeah.
He does. He goes in front of them and he's like, "Yo, let's fuck these guys up."
But like, I think it's the fact he stands there. Like everyone knows the war's about to end, and I think realistically, if the guy was to go, "All right, guys, that the war's about to end, but I just want you to like mess the hell out of these for like the last 15 minutes, just for a laugh, innit?" Like that's basically what he's done. But then, like, he's kind of put that double edge to it, and he's gone. And if you don't,
you get shot.
Then
one guy says he's not going to, and they shoot him.
You're gonna die. So either die now, or go just die out there. Like,
and if you don't, you get to live.
Yeah, it's like this. It's just completely messed up, innit?
Yeah, Paul went through a bit of a mare, didn't he? Really, because you were on about that guy who's a bit. If we actually go through, Paul started with 3 friends, had 4 or like 5 for the whole thing, but he started with 3. The first one almost immediately got evaporated by an artillery gun.
But then that like
and the others
it
last longer,
bothers
but it's
him
not
for
by
like
much.
Yeah, but they weren't exactly better deaths. The other one surrendered and got
flamethrowered.
The other one stabbed himself with a fork in the neck.
The other one got shot by a fucking
a child.
You don't even know what happened to the other guy.
Yeah, we don't even know what happened. Bro, I can just imagine it's some
Horrific.
Cthulhu level horrors or some shit. Like, it's the only thing. if it's bad enough to be off screen, then
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Connor? Just saying.
What was I saying?
that's Kyle.
Yeah, I know who said that.
No, he said Connor, didn't he?
No, it's
No,
Kyle.
I said
Oh,
me.
did he? Fair enough.
But I have no idea what I was saying. I was talking about deaths, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
War's
going to
bad.
say. I think from the first death that Paul sees, like, I think that kind of makes him like a better fighter, if that makes
I
sense.
think it's cool.
where it
No, to be
desensitizes
fair,
him,
when
doesn't it?
in the
Because-
final battle, he is fucking wrecking
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
He's got some
he fucks
experience.
shit
Yeah,
up, bro.
because
sorry to interrupt. He's like fucking shooting some like French dudes. So,
Yeah.
and then like he goes down to the trench and he's like above it and he sees this French guy about to kill a guy and he shoots him. And there's another guy coming from the right, so he like jumps him and like hits him against the wall.
he owns
he's like
it.
killing people with fucking helmets.
But I think when you look at it from the start, like from the start of the movie when he signs up, you sit there and you go, this guy ain't gonna last long.
no.
Like he's like, yeah, he's the main character, but he's gone in the next 10 minutes. Like as soon as it's a battlefield, is a goner.
He technically did live out the war.
Well, so
He's fighting a French guy, and like the guy tries to pull the French guy's like drowning him in mud, and then he like bricks the guy, and then he goes for a gun, and he like charges him. They fall down some They fall down some stairs.
Yeah, into the bunker,
This is really fucking well choreographed. The fight scenes are fucking amazing, and the effects for all the blood and like the people's heads coming off look fucking incredible. Did this win any awards?
Yeah,
Oh,
it won
surely.
3 Academy Awards and 1 BAFTA.
oh, there we go.
There you go then. And then he's down there and he's fighting the guy, and then some other Frenchman like stabs him.
Yeah, which bullshit.
back.
That was a good one-on-one.
Sneak
we were
attack. That was
having
an awesome one-on-one, and then he got like snaked, which
there.
is
And
fucking...
then he tries to climb back up the stairs so he can see the light down there.
Yeah, well, because the armistice happens, and the French guy he's like, well, I'm not fucking saving him, am I? I'm going. If a guy tried to murder me, I would with a rifle, I would leave him.
Well,
die in the
yeah,
trench.
that's fine.
He's also
that's
been
fine.
stabbed anyway, like right in the heart. Like he's not.
Yeah, no, yeah, I have no issue
Well,
with
it's
that.
around the heart, yeah. So yeah, as you said, he goes up to the top of and he does get there, doesn't he? So
Yeah,
he does,
just
yeah.
about gets there.
and he dies.
I think that's quite sad.
Well, I actually think it's probably not. I don't know. I think it's probably a good. I always like if we're able to get our main character a good like scenic view at the end. Some proper
Like a Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption
2.
happened recently. In a
I
couple
think
of
the
games,
fact
but
it fought all that war, seeing all his mates die like in a brutal way, and then he did that one thing for his country. He was like, I'm just gonna go like. The guy's he's told me I've got to go kill them all, otherwise I'm gonna die. So I'm hitting out, I'm killing them all. Like he doesn't see what's coming when he gets like stabbed.
first
And,
KD ratio was
and
crazy.
then
What actually happened to the land in the end? Did the Germans?
that last piece.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I'm assuming. I don't know. That's an interesting
You
question.
can put that in on the
haven't
edit.
looked at it,
Just like put in like a. bit
but
of text
you
or
asked about it's surely got to win some awards. It won the Academy Award for Best Production Design in 2023. It won an Academy Award for Best Original Music Score, Best Academy Award for International Feature Film, and it won BAFTA's Best Film 2023. I maybe controversial. I agree with all of them apart from Best Music.
What
I
was
don't
it
know
up against?
Yeah, I was about to say, what was it up against?
What was it up against?
Like I like the music in it, but I don't know. Didn't blow me away apart from the.
So let's have a look.
That's the only bit that really stood out to me musically wise.
So that year it was up against Babylon, The Banishes of
Inisherin.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Feeblemans.
I don't.
Maybe it does get it then.
Maybe it does.
Yeah.
I mean, I love everything everywhere all at once, but the sound isn't a particular highlight.
But I think the interest, it's controversial. Maybe I don't know if that's the right word. The fact it won Best Score, it's sort of ironic because there is barely any score in it.
yeah,
Like when you look at
Yeah.
the movie, it's the same sound
Yeah.
that's just constantly being played.
I think it's just a simple case of it. Like, if you can name a better one, I'll give it to him. But at the moment,
This
out of
is
those
the best one
films,
going.
Yeah.
like the ginger kid takes the scarf.
Well, I was about to
He
say
takes the scarf off him.
that's actually kind of the worst part out of
He got
him
mugged.
dying. No, because the ginger kid he saves finds Paul takes Franz's scarf off him and then doesn't take the dog tag.
Does he not take it?
He doesn't take
What
the
a
dog
prick,
tag.
man. So no one's going to know.
So Paul's death was not recorded.
Oh.
Technically. In the law, Paul's death is not recorded. No, other than us, because we watched the film, no one knows Paul's dead.
And there's no one to tell him because
all his mates died. Everyone he went to war with died.
And do his parents even, like, what do his parents
Nah,
anything happen to him?
he won't have arrived back from war, so he'd just gone down as one of these, like, lost, forgotten heroes of the war.
Well, his parents wouldn't have even known that he joined because he wasn't legally allowed to.
Yeah.
So I guess he just went missing one day.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Like, he wasn't legally allowed to win the war, yet throughout the whole entire movie, you never see anyone question.
Yeah, because no one gave a shit.
Back home, you don't see anyone question. They're not like, where's Paul?
Well, they probably did question, but, like, it's just a simple case of it's like, I don't fucking know, mate. Could be fucking anywhere by now, bruv. Have you seen the front line?
True.
One thing I picked up on, random tidbit that I thought was interesting, is that when Kat and Paul are on the way home, I guess away, either to the farm or away from the farm, they talk about how they need new clothes because of how loose their trousers are, like because they've gotten so skinny. And I never even considered that the clothes you were sent there in would probably get too skinny for you just because of how little you'd get to eat in the trench.
Yep.
And I no, it wasn't too important.
Seems like a lot of cardio as well.
Yeah. But the last scene, I know it's him, and then they cut to the same shot from before, but it's nighttime this time, or is it daytime first and then nighttime? Wait, no. Which way is it?
Oh,
I think it's nighttime at the last shot and daytime at the start of the first shot, isn't it?
Day, what, as in?
The first shot of the film is like a mountain.
Day.
Right.
That's
Day,
daytime.
Yeah, that's day.
The shot of Paul where he's dead is so freakishly long. I was half convinced he was going to wake up.
So I watched that for about 10-15 seconds. And I was so convinced like his eyes were going to open and it was going to like scare the shit out of me that I actually started skipping through that bit because it was just freaking me the hell out. And then I got to the end where it's just like that quiet scene. And I'm like, okay, Paul's dead. I'm like, he's not waking up.
Those guys, whoever made it, the film, just a pair of pricks.
But like they had so many scenes like that where like it was just like on a like extreme close up of a character's face, and you sort of sat there going, is he going to wake up? Like, is his eyes going to open? Like, am I going to be, like, fucking jumping out my chair?
They just want you to know that dude's fucking dead, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. They let that sink in. They're like, all right, think about this for a moment. Dead.
So, that's kind of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, that is kind of the movie. I'm sure there's more we could probably go into, but I think this is quite a long episode already.
Do you think?
I think
Do you
so.
think?
I think
I can
so,
check
yeah.
the runtime. If you want to keep talking, I'll have a...
Well, I would often you can check the runtime, and if you need to bump it up, you can bump it up a bit more.
If you bump it up, we'll talk about our opinions on the war. It is currently cracking an hour, 58 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. That is totally a good length for an episode.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. So this has been a bit. I don't know. It was a bit haphazard getting set up, but I think this has gone pretty well actually.
I actually think it's going pretty well as well.
So I think. Well, thank you for being here, Kyle.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Talk about the ratings.
Ratings, yeah. What would you overall thoughts and a rating out of 10?
Overall thoughts. I think it's probably one of the best war movies going. It's interesting. 'Cause obviously, like a lot of the war movies you see in this country are obviously like
our side
British, like the from our perspective. I think it was really interesting to watch like even though it's an international film or whatever, like. Basically, watch the German side of the war depicted by the Germans.
Especially in World War One.
Yeah.
It wasn't black or white in World War One. It was very grey. It was just kind of... There wasn't like a bad... obviously.
I think it kind of like... I think, again, it just still hit... Like, you started to feel for the characters, started to feel for, like, the people you're watching. And I think it's, like, again, it hits out that message that, like... Yeah, there's sides in the war, but... they're actually still people as well. I think it really hammered home that. Rating wise, I think I'll give it a good 4.5. I think the only reason
we usually do 10s here, so 4.5 would
10,
be
so okay,
that'd
then,
be a 9.
A 9 then, yeah. Only for the fact that I think the movie lost some. You go from heavy action to
the pacing
nothing.
was right.
The pacing could have been. There could have been less of the negotiations. Yes, that's an important part.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The first kind of like so many scenes of the negotiations, I think it could have done without, and you could have like everyone knows the war was negotiated.
Well, like I did think because
Yeah.
it's 2.5 hours. I thought some of the negotiation stuff was unnecessary.
Yeah,
I wouldn't cut anything from the bits with Paul, but I would cut some of that. So what's it going? So 9.
so I'd say 9. Yeah.
What are you going with?
Well, I really like the film. It's my kind of film. I really like history and stuff. So I'd probably also have to go for a 9, if I'm going to be honest. I was really happy with it. Yeah.
I don't think I'd give it a 9. I think
But you're going to 10.
maybe
Yeah.
no, a bit
No.
lower. I think I was gonna give it a 7, but I think it is a great film. I think it is. I think I'll give it an 8. I give it an 8. I don't know if it was particularly my kind of thing. I do like
that's fair enough.
historical stuff. I just think 2.5 hours.
It's very long. You've got to
I
get
think
comfortable.
it's
Haven't you?
really long. Is all. I think if you'd cut more of the stuff in the negotiators, I probably would have been more confident in giving it an 8. I think it's just getting an 8 for me, or
think
maybe I would have given it a 9.
Like not even the negotiation scenes. I just generally think sometimes some of the scenes could have been shorter because the message of the scene, what you're trying to move the story forward with, is it's happened. So why am I still watching it like 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later?
No, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've just got a bad attention span now or something. But like, actually, no. I've seen the extended editions of Lord of the Rings. That's never mind. No, I don't know. It was a bit, maybe a bit longer than it needed to be. But it's, and I like the characters. Oh, mostly Paul and Kat. Those are the ones that really kind of
like Kat quite
appealed to me. I don't know if any of the other ones really I cared that much about. I mean, I did when they got like murdered. Like the guy who gets burned to death. Was it Albert? Is that his name?
I think, it was Albert. Yeah, because Franz goes missing, Albert gets burnt, and then the guy at the beginning, I can't remember his name, he gets fucked up.
Maybe it's because everyone's got like German names and they're all speaking a different language, but maybe I found it a bit harder to follow than I would have if I watched it dubbed, but I think I'm happy that I did watch it subbed.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't go on my phone. I always try not to go on my phone when I watch stuff, but I literally couldn't because I wouldn't be able to.
You don't know what's going on, do you, if you're watching it? Yeah.
So, but no, it is a great movie. I think it does deserve an 8 or at least a 7. So I'm gonna go
middle.
I'm not gonna do a half.
Yeah, we can't do halves.
Oh, you can't do halves.
Nah.
I'll give it an 8. I'll just about give it an 8. I think so. 8, and then you 2 are 9s.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah, no,
That's fair.
there we go.
Cool. So that was All Quiet on the Western Front. It's been a bit of a different episode, just mostly just in angling, really. Other than that, it's a usual affair.
Yeah.
And we have only had 3 people on, which we haven't done since, I want to say 7, which is the 3rd episode we ever did.
So
before we moved on to sort of the guest format.
bit different for you.
Yeah.
But
How's your experience been on here, Kyle?
It's been good. It's been interesting. You took some really interesting angles, I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
I mean,
what are you referring to?
you got the point across that was bad.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
The whole shagging sisters thing was a bit of a.
Well, the shagging your sister is bad.
Well, no, it's bad, but
do you not see that as a bad thing?
No, I really do see that as a bad thing.
Okay. Let it be known, Kyle does not shag his sister.
No, but it.
I don't know what the crew.
Do you have a sister?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he thinks he wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't. But the whole crudes and shagging your sister thing.
I don't know what the crudes is about.
I don't know how we got onto those topics.
I bet the crudes are incestuous. That's why.
I tell you what.
Well, it's a small group. There's no other people there, is there?
I tell you what. Get someone to do crudes. I'll come on for the episode as well.
We are
just so you got an actual crude here in your eyes.
Well, we're not doing crudes because we have. So this is probably going to come out in like April, maybe. We're filming this in March. So because we don't have access to the studios, being uni students during the summer, we're mass making some of these.
Oh yeah.
And we are so ahead of the game because we know we're finishing this once we finish uni. We're too packed up. We know what all the episodes are going to be, other than like 2, which we're trying to fill right now. Mm-hmm. And then it's not going to be crudes.
Oh no, we're not
It's not
wasting
gonna
that on
be
Croods,
Croods.
motherfucker.
We don't have that. Actually, have that many episodes.
What? So like
left.
the finale isn't going to be Croods?
The finale will not be
No.
Croods.
No.
No, it won't be.
Do you reckon you could get all your guests back for one big finale?
Not a chance.
No.
There's one hell of a chance you could.
There's too many of them.
There's
And
too many of them.
Half of them are uni students.
Yeah, but how are we gonna fit them in this room all using mics?
we could get at most 2 people, unless we started making them. How many people do you think you could conceivably fit there?
6.
6. You think 6? And then with us 2 over there,
Yeah.
theoretically we could get 6. Which 6 would you want back? Nah. Yeah.
Well, no, because then you could start setting up separate mics.
No, because that would be
Separate
shit. 'cause
mics,
everyone's
where?
just gonna talk over each other.
Yeah, once you get past 4 people, it's like it's too many to have
You
a
reckon?
podcast. I think so.
I don't just reckon. I know.
Now, I reckon you got, like traitors at the end of traitors are like a fat like finale, and all the people are there, and like it's like on the podcast, like the traitors uncloaked.
I was
Like you got like Bucket Studio 8, one big finale for Film FM. The fact you just went means you're contemplating it, so it's signed off.
What we're gonna do?
People,
Watch
Film FM is going to have a
Alright,
massive
we're cutting.
finale.
We're cutting. Fuck this.
No, we're
not
not.
doing
We're not.
it.
It's having a massive
I
finale.
always thought we'd get like just us 2 for the last one, or
Yeah,
like
maybe.
or like the 2 best guests, which presumably Ladkins would be one of them, just on account of like his sheer level of appearances.
Yeah, I suppose.
Or maybe it'll be Kyle.
What, the most controversial guest? Me.
You're not the most
No.
controversial guest. It's definitely Kurt.
Kurt.
Kurt was definitely the
Alright,
worst.
so this has been All Quiet on the Western Front. You want to plug anything before you go, Kyle?
No, I don't plug anything. Actually, nah.
Other than his sister.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've got.
That's the end of the episode.
I don't think I need to advertise anything else. I think maybe I've got some. I don't know. Maybe something else will come out on my YouTube.
I'm sure there's something coming out.
There's something coming out. It'll be on my Instagram.
What if you plugged Geezer?
Geezer? Well, we haven't released Geezer 3 yet. We're making a Geezer 3.
There you go.
We're
See,
doing a
you just
third
said you
one.
didn't have
Well,
anything to plug.
We've already made it. It will come out at some point.
Yeah.
It might have come out by the time this video has.
Features
I doubt
me.
it. Features Kyle, who was in the second one a tiny bit. He's in this one more. So.
And
Okay, well you can
Which
cut
one's
that. You're definitely cutting that.
I'm gonna have to cut that.
All right. Bye.
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 Bye.